Okay. Always takes a minute. We are live. All right.
Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday the 16th. Another LFG call. Let's freaking go. We'll give it a couple minutes for people to get in, and then we'll kind of get into what we got going on today. If you guys don't know, we do have a membership where we do master classes and masterminds on Thursdays. It's only $27. So, I mean, that's just so less than $1 a day to learn how to thrive with inside the senior market. And all of our coaches and founders are not teaching on theory or trying to show you something that actually does not work even in their own business. So all of us are showing our blueprints. Like I basically break it out, show you my full blueprint, how I do 20 to 30 deals in my first year of real estate, all the way to doing 77 in my sixth year. And I do focus on seniors and their families, amongst other things. Good morning, Kathy. How's it going? We'll give it about 5 minutes before we get into it. I'll see if I can. And Jess, can you make me co-host?
All right. You should be co-host now. Kathy said she can't go on, can't talk just yet.
Good morning, Debbie. We'll give it a couple minutes just to get everybody a chance to get through. If you guys want to share your wins, anyone have a win of the past week? Doesn't matter how small or how big, but let's start off with our wins.
Hey, Cory. Sorry, I couldn't get unmuted.
No worries, no worries. How's it going?
It's good. How are you?
Absolutely wonderful. No complaints in life. You got a win for
Um,
the week?
my win, I think so. This year, I hired a MAPS coach, and I am getting myself organized, and I'm using the DTD2 call system, and I've actually made it through my entire first week of doing that.
Well, congratulations. That was actually it's good that that's what it is because we're going to be talking a little bit about what do we do on a daily basis or what do people do because I really believe consistency is undefeated. Imperfect action beats non-action any day of the week. And to be honest, we don't need to do that much on a daily basis to have a pretty successful career. So we'll touch on that. So congratulations. I always think coaches, any type of coach is a good thing for the most part, as long as they keep you accountable and then have a blueprint for success. Anybody else want to share a win that they had this past week before we get started? Oh, don't be shy.
Well, I'm excited starting January off with two sales, and hopefully by the end of today, I will be listing one property. But the two sales both almost fell apart this week, and successfully we held them together. So that's my win for the week.
That is super awesome. Yes, I mean, anytime you can start, the new year off with some transactions closings, always a good thing to start the year off, right? Where did those transactions come from?
Um, let's see. One was a referral from a past client. And the other one was I work with a relocation company bringing, it's a pharmaceutical company bringing in people. And so they're transferring a lot of people in here lately. So I'm working with quite a few of those. And this one was coming in from the UK. So it's been kind of interesting, working with them over there and me over here.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, congratulations. And yes, I always say, getting business, I think is the easiest part of our business. It's all the emotions that go along with the transaction, both our own emotions, our clients' emotions, the other realtors' emotions. It gets stressful. And you know, I always say it's like we work for free all the way up until the point we go pick up our check. So we are the most expensive go picker upper checkers that there probably is in the country, because that is pretty much the only thing that we get paid for is to go pick up our check. Other than that, we don't ever get promised to get paid for all the work that we do. I think that's what the NAR should be, going out, or realtors should be going out, is every single day hitting up on social media and going, look at all the things that we do, and none of it is that we're guaranteed to get paid. Look at all the expenses we put out, and we're not actually guaranteed to do it. So, like, our business is a business, but it's also almost like a gambling. It's we are hedging our bets, and sometimes, no matter what we do, we still can't actually get that to the finish line. So, awesome, awesome. Anybody else want to share a win before we get going? Go ahead, Rochelle.
Hi, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I haven't been on in a while. It's been kind of crazy, but it's good to be back. So just real quick, and I think you might be happy about it too. So I went up against another big agent, like a big agent in a community. She actually lives in the community. When I found out that I was going up against her, I didn't think I stood a chance, but it was interesting. So I'm happy to say I got the listing. But
Awesome.
but yeah, they're out of state clients. A lot of my business is it's kind of similar to yours. Like I work with a lot of people with inherited homes, and downsizing and clean outs and the whole nine yards. Anyhow, they're out of state clients, and they saw her obviously because she's in that community, and then they saw me because they saw that I don't do the same number that she does, a little bit less, but anyway, she didn't they said that they gave it, they were happy with me because I was the one that went a little like a step further. Like I'm the one who has the people to help them with the clean out and to help them, with the contractors. And the other one, they said they didn't think that she didn't seem willing to do that. Like basically she didn't want to. She kind of wanted to, like, list it and be on her way. And they didn't get the feeling that that she was as helpful. So there was like a little Cory on the back of my, on my shoulder. And I'm like, so when they said that it was, when it was four of them, it was two couples that came, one from Pennsylvania and the other one from, I don't remember what state, but they all said it was unanimous that they felt more comfortable with me and that they were, they thought I was the one to do the job. So for me, that's a big thing because, when I go up against the big agents, just like anybody else, it's a little intimidating. So,
Yeah.
so that's my
Well,
win.
that is a huge win for
Yeah,
anybody, so
yeah,
don't I always say, like, we got to celebrate our wins, and then a win like that, I would literally go reward myself for it. So when
yeah.
I beat out another agent, or when I beat out, like, anytime I go up to any competition, I don't care if the person's only sold one house. When I win, I go take myself to a nice round of golf, or take it out to sushi, do something, because in our own brains, it'll release a chemical to go, ooh, that felt good. I
Yeah.
got rewarded. I want to do that again. And you'll go out that much more confident next time, because your body's saying, hey, I want that win again. So I always believe, don't go out and spend your whole check, by any means, but
Buy a new
find out, like,
car,
something
right?
like, something within reason that just says, hey, what? I'm doing this and rewarding myself because I got this, or because I did this. And I even think, like, going back to Kathy, of doing your every single day, doing what you're supposed to do. At the end of the week, reward yourself, because that'll make us want to keep doing it. Our brains are tricky like that, and I think funny like that is, if we don't celebrate our wins, if we don't congratulate ourselves, we're like, okay, that was good, that felt good, but there's no reward. It's almost like waking up on Christmas morning as a kid and there not being any presents under the tree. It's like, oh, it's Christmas, but there's nothing for me. So yeah, so I think that's all goes in good with what I wanted to talk about today, is just what do we do on a daily basis, and how do we schedule out our day? And when I'm, working with my students, when I'm even doing my own business, I do want to plan out my pillars, and I have 5 different pillars that I focus on. And, one of them always is like, this is my bread and butter. This is what I love to do. This is where statistically the most profitable is to get me profitable. And the other one's kind of like sometimes they piggyback. Like, so social media for me isn't a pillar to go and try to get strangers to use me, but I use social media to make sure that no one in my sphere ever forgets about me. Nobody in my phone book ever forgets about me. I mean, I just got a referral from someone I went to high school with, and I really haven't talked to him since high school. I mean, every now and then, because I engage with everybody on my Facebook page, we engage, but we never really we haven't met, we haven't talked. And he's like, "Hey, I just had a client has her husband passed away. She really needs a lot of help. She wants to sell the property, and I said you were the guy to help her." And so that's what I use the social media for. And I believe everyone, whether we like to be on video or not. I mean, most people don't know this about me. Is I was terrified of cameras growing up. I was terrified of public speaking growing up. Like growing up in high school, I literally could not do my stand-up reports in front of the whole class. I'd have to wait till after school just to do it to the teacher. And a lot of times I'd ask, "Can I please just sit down while I do this? I'm not comfortable up speaking." So I think social media is a way where we can make 1,000 cold calls, 100 cold calls, 200 cold calls. However many views you get is basically a cold call, but we don't have to worry about rejection. No one's judging us on the way we look. If they are, if you're married, what does it matter? And if you're not, is that the really right person for you anyways? So I think your pillars can be a standalone of like, hey, this is how I'm going to generate business. And this is also one that like kind of piggybacks off it or supports it. So just, either way you guys want to put in the chat or you want to come on, onto, off mute. What are some daily activities that you do that say, okay, if I have a crazy busy day, if I have a crazy family day, whatever it may be, these are two, three, one thing that minimum, this is what I do. And anyone can come off mute or again, just put it in the chat. And I'll go for me. My number one pillar is my core. I do a boot camp on it. I tell everybody that everyone that says, "Hey, I want to get into real estate." It's like, okay, this is the number one way to get business, and it's not just the way I get business. According to NAR, 72% of business that agents get comes from people that they personally have a personal relationship with. So friends, family, coworkers, acquaintances, anyone that you personally have a personal relationship with. They come number two, it comes from past clients. Well, if you have past clients, that's great. But if you don't, that doesn't help you much. But I always find it funny when we talk about past clients because I believe most realtors treat their clients like Tinder dates, where we see them, we swipe right, yes, we want to help you out, and then we try to wine and dine them and woo them and whatever. And then once we get what we want, the transaction closed, we ghost them and we never talk to them again. And it's like, well, I don't know what to say. I mean, they already bought their house and they're not going to buy another house for another 11 years. And I always try to get people to think of it of the eHarmony. We want to get married to them for life because to me, it's not the importance of being a lifetime client of mine. So that way, they can do 3 to 5 transactions with me in a lifetime. I look at it the other way around. I want their referrals, or really I want their introductions, because everybody statistically, people know 4 to 7 people every single year that they go, "Hey, I'm going to buy a house," or "Hey, I'm thinking about buying, I'm thinking about selling." We have these conversations, especially if someone buys and sells that year, they really have even more conversations because it's just the law of attraction, the law of intention, it's just magnets to them. So in a 5-year period, they might do one transaction, maybe even like a half transaction. But in those 5 years, that person's going to meet 20 to 35 different people. So that's how, one of my big cores is. So one thing that I do every single day, I make sure I have 3 to 5 conversations with my core. because I know that is the biggest driving force. 72% of business comes from here. So if I can get that statistic and look at the probability of like, how do I magnify that? My business, I'm going to say about 90% when I looked at it, 90% comes from my core or my BODs. Like it's coming from partnerships and relationships. And as soon as like that guy who introduced me, as soon as he introduces me to someone, he automatically comes into my core. And now he's going to get a phone call from me every single month. So that's one thing that one of my daily like minimums, no matter how many appointments I have, how many trainings I have, how many coaches, students I'm doing. The one thing I will make sure is before 8:30 at night, I have my 3 to 5 conversations. Anybody else have like one of their daily, what do we do on a daily basis as far as prospecting goes? Go ahead, Rochelle.
So I have a question about your phone calls. So,
Yep.
and I'm bad about it because I say I'm going to and I never do, even with people I know and my clients. So for your 3 to 5 phone calls, how long are you talking to them? Is it like do you put like is it a half hour, an hour, 2 hours? Some people can talk. I can talk.
I go with the intention, I'm trying to build a relationship up with this person.
Okay.
I'm trying to show that I care about them. I'm trying to find connections, whether it's hobbies, passions, kids, goals, dreams, travel, or connections of who do I need to connect them to? And then I look at it of like, okay, how can I bring them value? So sometimes a couple minutes as we're on the phone, we talk real quick, they got to go. Okay. Some of it, I mean, last night I talked to a guy for an hour and a half, and people are like, an hour and a half. Yeah, because that is my prospecting. But that 1 hour and a half that we gave to him, and I say that I gave to him, we talked about so many different things. And now he's like, you know what? I was going to think about buying next year, but you kind of, after all this whole thing, you kind of made me realize like maybe there's hope that I can buy this year. And that wasn't the main conversation. I mean, we talked about like his goals and what he's doing for work, and it just kept on going back to, oh, hey, I know I had to buy, but I don't see where it happening. So we started talking about, okay, well, what do you do for work? How do we get you in a position where you're more comfortable? And what are you paying now? So and not like again, I have 3 to 5 conversations. It might take 10 phone calls, it might take 20 phone calls to get those 3 to 5 conversations to happen. Because sometimes people don't answer. That's okay. Um, but sometimes there's no real estate being brought up at all. Sometimes there's no opportunity. But what I can tell you is in December alone, I really sat and really made sure that I contacted everybody in my core. And I have 28 new opportunities of people that are thinking about buying, selling, or that know somebody. Of those 28, 6 of those were introductions to somebody that I had no idea who they were. So now my ecosystem just got bigger. One of the guys I talked to, his house got burned down in the Palisades fire. His parents inherited the home from their parents. He inherited it from his parents, and he's been working on that house basically since he's been a little kid. And he's like, I just don't have the heart to sell this property and give up on it. I'm like, dude, that's totally understandable. So we started talking about like, okay, how can I help him rebuild this home, knowing there's nothing in it for me? By the end of the conversation, he's like, you know what? Like most agents just try to sell and try to say, oh, you should sell it. No, it's going to take you this. You didn't do any of that. You supported me. And so I want to let you know that he's in an AA, but he's in this group. And he's like, I'm going to start telling every single person I know about you. I'm like, please do, because that's how my business grows. So I think I talked to one guy that came out of my team. He's like, dude, Cory, like I'm having these conversations. They're like taking a half an hour to an hour every single time, and they want to hang out with me. They want to go to lunch with me. They want to like invite me out to basketball. I'm like, what? I'm failing to see the issue here, right? Because that's exactly what we want. Well, I don't know how any of this gets business. I'm like, that's the problem. We're all, and again, excuse me, I know I'm the only guy here, but it's just how I relate things to people, to my mind is everyone's trying to go to bed with people right away and get them in the bed and get get the transaction, get the booty. And it's like that's not right, because most people, I mean, most of you guys are women here, like think of it when guys come out and go like, hey, will you go sleep with me? You're like, dude, back up. But if someone's just actually genuine, like, hey, what color do you like? What's your favorite number? And what do you love to do? And you actually build a real relationship with them, then you're more likely to want to keep that relationship going. So when you're calling these people, that's the mentality. Um, you guys can all look in your phones. You guys all have 100, 200, 300. Some of you will have 1,000 people in your phone, but you're probably sitting going, I need leads. I can't get any business. Have you called everybody in your phone yet? Well, no, I mean, that's my hair cutter and that's my gardener. Well, my gardener, I've done 3 transactions with. I don't get my hair cut, so I don't have a barber, but my kids do. And anybody that comes in my ecosystem, try to see if that's a person that I can get in there and build that relationship up with. Especially like to me, your hairdresser, think about it, you guys, like your hairdresser probably knows more about you than some of your friends know about you. So if you went to your hairdresser and said, "Hey, this is what I do. I would love to make you part of my board of directors. And if you ever introduce me to someone that's going to buy, sell, or invest, I'll give you a marketing fee. I'll pay for their next haircut. Whatever you want to do, give them a marketing fee because they are marketing your business and show them that you're going to give them a reward. And also what I do is I give a little like a discount, a reward, a special credit, something for the person that's being introduced. Because people love being, I call it the guy, like, oh, I know a guy, and because I introduced you, he's going to give you a special referral. He's going to give you a special discount. People love that shit. So it's part of my French, but that's what I do. So that's one of the things that is done on a daily basis is those conversations. Again, anyone else have some dailies they want to? Again, you can put in the chat, or if maybe that's why we're here is going. Cory, I just don't know what to do on a daily basis. I don't. And I can tell you. I'll kind of switch a little bit. And again, if you want to say something, you can literally just unmute yourself and interrupt me because I'll just talk and talk and talk. Um, but inside the senior space, I think there's some dailies that we can do as well. And again, I'm going to go outside of the core, outside of, that is, if we would have imagined if you just visited one community a day, you just said the minimum that I'm going to do on a daily basis, I'm going to visit one community a day. And okay, yeah, and there's a lot of shiny objects. And I think for the most part, again, what we talked about last time is like what your 3 pillars are. I think you have to start there. And if you're getting started, I think you at least identify one major pillar and the other 2 are like, yeah, I'm gonna have these as supporting pillars. So if we go into it, so if we, again, just visited one, if you just said, hey, I'm gonna go and no matter what, I'm gonna visit one community a day. I'm going to go and meet the marketing director. I'm going to go and meet the executive director. I'm going to go and meet the activities director. Just every day, I want to pick one community and I'm going to go visit it. I promise you, if you visit one community every single day, that pillar will get you business. And as you build a relationship up, you're going to start building a relationship with these professionals in there. And you're going to realize that there's, we can all go into the exact same community. I can go, hey, I've sold 77 homes and I have this and I have that and blah, blah, blah. And they could be like, I don't like short, white, bald dudes. So, and they're going to end up using one of you guys instead. It's just like we all have our vibe. We all end up finding our tribe through that way. And not everyone wants a top producer. Not everybody wants, someone that just has, exactly what to say, when to say it, and who to say it. Like one of my teammates, she's an older lady and she would stumble on her words. She couldn't get the talking tracks, but she set so many appointments for these tours and built up really good relationships in the communities to the point where she left my team and took the relationships with her because they didn't want someone that was just, really well spoken with my talking tracks. I practice my talking tracks every single day. It's one of my daily things is all practice what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it, where I'm going to say it, because I don't want to fumble over my words. Kathy, you have a question.
I was just going to say my day usually starts with, if I'm having coffee and scrolling, doom scrolling, I'm trying to make it more productive. And the fact that, yeah, most of my Facebook friends may not be, my target demographic, but they have kids that, adult children that are in that space. Like I'm currently dealing with my senior parents. A lot of them I know are in the same boat. So I'm kind of connecting through them, at least to start my day. If I'm going to make it productive, meeting with them through or having conversations through Facebook, at least to get the day started.
Perfect. Perfect way to start your day. Because I mean, it's funny. It's like if I call you at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, they're like, my day's just getting started. But all of a sudden you get I have 7 Facebook messages right now. I'm probably, if I wasn't on this call, I'd probably be going through, they're going, oh, who messaged me? And sometimes they're like messaging me at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh, that person really couldn't sleep, or whatever. And I message people sometimes in the middle of the night when I can't sleep. It's like almost like accepted that you can. So I think that's great. I think, again, it doesn't matter what it is, but when we're prospecting, if we're trying to build out our perfect calendar and our pipeline, our existing pipeline, meaning like, our active listings, our active buyers isn't where we want it to be, or our pipeline isn't where we want it to be as far as like future coming soons, whether it's a buyer or seller, we should be spending 4 to 6 hours every day prospecting. And prospecting, Paul says it probably best is cultivating. Think of it as you're cultivating relationships, you're cultivating partnerships. You're not out there, trying to like call people and convert people. Just build relationships and partnerships. And if you fill your day with what you love to do, like if you're going to really look inside of yourself and go, okay, if I could make 100,000, 200,000, or whatever, $1 million, whatever your goal is, by doing something that I love to do as far as prospecting goes, what is it that I love to do? I love to call people. I hate to cold call people. So the people I call, they're already in my phone. I can call anybody in my phone with no hesitation. I like that. So what do? I fill my day up with that. Social media. I like engaging with people. I like having one-on-one conversations with people. So what do? I came up with a systematic way to do that. And that's what I'd say is if Facebook, and I do Facebook, Instagram, it's a great way because if you systematically have a way to engage with every single one of your Facebook friends or followers, whether it's monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, and you're going through there systematically, guess what they're posting? They're posting they're posting losses. They're posting wins. They're posting, I got a job. I had a baby. It's my birthday, like whatever, it's my anniversary. Those are great opportunities to get out of the digital world and call people. So if you're in my core, you get my family will sing you happy birthday, but I'll also call you and be like, hey, I just wanted to wish you happy birthday. What are your big plans? Or you got any big things that happened? Or what are your big goals? Or if nothing else, I want to, and it won't be about real estate. Me singing happy birthday to people, like me and my kids sing happy birthday, I can literally point to 5 different deals I've gotten over the last, let's say 5 or 6 years, only because we sang them happy birthday. One of my friends, I mean, again, he was my friend in high school, and I really wasn't a friend. He was an acquaintance in high school. We sang him happy birthday because we first were singing every single one of my Facebook friends happy birthday, and 2,000 birthday songs was just a lot to do in one year. But that person literally said, hey, thank you so much. By the way, do you do real estate in this town? I was like, of course I do. And I got a deal that way. Another one, I met a lady at an open house. I always try to Facebook message people and friend people at that point in time. We sang her happy birthday like 2 years ago. And she reached out and said, hey, thinking about selling and then buying and blah, blah. We started talking. And I was like, hey, you know what? Like, thank you so much. I just really appreciate the opportunity. She said, since you sang me happy birthday a couple of years ago, I always said, if I'm going to do something, you're the person I'm going to do it with. Because it shows that you care. And that's really what, they always say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. But people also want to make sure that you're not just there for the transaction. So that would be, one thing is like, so going through and really defining your pillars. What do they want to do? Is it a networking group? So like I make sure that I at least go to one senior networking group at least once a month. I go to one expo at least once a month. Those are like my minimums that I do because I need to constantly be putting myself and branding myself and getting awareness. And I get deals from that. And that's one thing that I will tell you is like, I know for me, Felicia, Paul, we're never going to teach you something or say to do something if we haven't actually seen it get business for ourselves. It's why I'll never tell you to go do a seminar with 100 people in it and do a big downsizing seminar because it doesn't convert. So the smaller groups are the better ones. Our lunch and learns, we max them out at 20 now. We don't allow any more than 20 people to come through because when it gets bigger, it becomes less personal and the conversion goes way down. My biggest like percentage wise conversion was when two people showed up. Both people got converted into clients. So um, and if we don't know what to do, again, I think it's really comes down to, I could tell you, Donna per se, Donna, I could tell you, hey, Donna, you can go door knock 100 homes. And if you door knock 100 homes every single day, you're going to go get business from it. But if Donna doesn't like to door knock, that is not a good thing to do. I mean, I know I hate door knocking. The only door knocking I love to do is when I'm having an open house, I invite them for tacos and slushies because I'm just inviting them to a party. I like that. But I hate going, oh, do you know that we just sold your neighbor's home? But there's people that love that and get business from it. So no, I'm not saying don't do it, but if you love to do it, so always start with when you're prospecting, you're building out your daily activities. What do you love to do? What do you like to do? And what are you good at? Okay. If I started the other way, I'm good at talking. I'm good at like learning scripts and overcoming objections. I just don't like it. Actually, I hate it. I hate trying to feel salesy. So I'm not going to do FISBOs and cancels and expires because I don't like that. I used to as a kid, as a young adult, I used to love converting people and I just found out I just don't like it. At the end, I don't like it. I used to like when I first started my real estate career, I used to love convincing sellers to sell it to me for a discounted price so I can flip the house. I used to love it. But over time, I'm like, you know what? It makes me feel ucky at the very end of the day because I convinced this person to sell it to me for, less so I can make more money. And I want my kids to be proud of who their dad is. So everything I do, I'm like, okay, my kids were watching. Would they be proud of who their dad was? And would they see that when you do good in the world will give back to you? Anyone out like, anyone have some questions or some comments? We can mastermind a little bit. If we have some pillars, they're like, hey, here's a pillar of mine. Just not sure how to get started. Please, speak now. Going once. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, you can just unmute yourself and start talking. Go ahead,
Okay.
Michelle.
So this is my deal, and I think I put it in one of your posts. What do you recommend to someone who's like a solo agent on their own? Like we all have shiny object syndrome. I know I do. I do all of the things that you say, but then I fall off. I used to be really good. So happy birthday cards, and I'm the one writing out the cards. I'm the one making the calls. I'm the one writing up the transaction. I'm the one doing the showing. I'm the one trying to get on these calls. We could stay on a call like every single day for like every single topic, and they're all good. It's just like I need to get better at, I don't know, focusing or I know I need to be better at consistency. Do you think we should like hire out for like little jobs? Like maybe I feel bad. Like that's just it. Like just use the happy birthday cards. I don't feel right having someone write happy birthday cards or Merry Christmas cards for me because then it's not really coming from me. And then it's just a basic, I guess, just Merry Christmas or like it's not very personal. But then,
So, yeah.
you know,
So when you're getting started, I'd say the first thing that you need to like, I don't care if you've never done a transaction in your life, the first person that you should get on your team is a TC. We should never be doing paperwork. One, I think when you get stuck doing paperwork, one, it just binds you down. Two, the TCs probably know how to do it better than you do, especially if you haven't done a lot of deals. But three, if you're doing your own paperwork, you're doing your own TC work, what I said in the very beginning is like emotions is the hardest part of this business. When you're actually doing it and involved in the transaction coordinating, you it even bogs you down even more and you even get more emotional about things. So I think that's number one. Two, like birthday cards, yeah, I think again, the way I look at it is like I have a core, and when I started at a core 86 people. So there was 86 people that said they'd use me or refer me. So those 86 people I would be writing the birthday cards for. Um, Outside of that, I would say, okay, let's say we have 300 people that you want to write birthday cards to, or 365. Or I'm going to write at least one birthday card every single day.
Mhm.
I could maybe see, I don't know mathematically wise if it would be worth it, but if someone would say, hey, I'm going to write out those birthday cards, make sure they get sent out, that could be, a good one. Um, I think as we're getting going, another person, if you start doing, 10 plus transactions a year, let's say, I think a showing agent is your next leverage spot because you don't have to pay them. You could not have to pay them $1, up front. You could give them a portion of the transaction. And the way I look at it is, agents across the country give 40% to Zillow. I'm not saying to give your buyer's agent a 40%, but buyers can still be profitable with giving a 25% referral fee. Hey, all your job is to do, you're going to help send them homes every Tuesday and Thursday. And any homes they want to go see, you're going to go show them it. And when it comes to negotiations, they want to write up an offer. That's when I get back involved. So that could be another one. But so I think it's more of, instead of thinking of like, who do I hire out and, how do I do things? I would look at it and go, okay, what's my 3 pillars? And what am I going to do on a daily basis to help with this pillar? So, like, again, my core, I make my 3 to 5 conversations. My social media, I call my ABC 1, 2, 3. I engage. Now, I'll be honest. After I'm in years now 6, and I'm doing quite a bit of transactions, I now have my VA doing my engagement with my social media. So when you guys get an instant message that probably said, "Hey, I'm hopefully your year went well. I'm having a mastermind coming up. I would love to invite you." That was sent out by my VA. Now her job is to, when someone responds, then notify me and say, hey, this person respond. Now let's set up a meeting and let me get the one-on-one with her. So I think it's something where you're like, okay, I can do this. And where am I going to get to leveraging it? But with my core, like my core, there's 336 people in my core. She doesn't touch those 336 people. They're identified on my social media. Like here, I'll show you how crazy we got with this. Social media engagement. So share screen. Boom. Okay. So we went through, and every single one of my Facebook friends is on this sheet, and she helped me do it by all means. I'm just going to show you that she did this filter thing. I wouldn't have done it, but again, I told her, whatever makes your job easier, I'm going to allow you to do. So we'll go here, and then I'll do A to Z. Why isn't it? Sorry, I'm in a deader. No. It's like a delayed has something. Let me see what happened here. Oh, okay. That's why I'm not scrolling up. Okay. So I have everybody out here where it says the category. So, there's lenders, there's real estate people. Let me see where. I can't find out where they. Okay. I'll just. There's investors.
So your 336 is your
There's
BOA, like your board of directors, your friends, family, like everybody, right?
they're like Michael Pando. He's a past client of mine. Raul Knight, he works for me and he also helps me, and he's a big supporter of mine. Rick Kelly's a past client of mine. Like it's everybody. Now I separate my core from my BOD. But in here, so she knows when she comes up to do the engagement, she's not going to engage with these people. I have their link up so I can go right here to Nick's. This is part of my social media course that I do, but you go here and I won't comment on anything religious or anything like that. Um, but I might. So it was his birthday. We sing him happy birthday. So again, I'll like his post here, and then I'll comment on his post and be like, "Hey, that's so sweet. I love that you found love." He's a past client. He referred me somebody. He referred me his mother-in-law. And unfortunately, his wife died, not her, but his wife died. So he had a hard time. He has a daughter of like, am I allowed to go date somebody else? And so we've talked about but we've gotten close with things. But I will go through for the past month and I will like it and I will comment on it. I'll message him, try to get, off of the digital into the physical is what I kind of say. And that's her job. Her job is to go through these and just interact, not with the core, but everybody else of like, so she set me up like 7 different appointments. Again, VAs, she costs $7 an hour. There's VAs you can find for $4 an hour. And Yeah, and that's yeah. How do you sing happy birthday? We literally here I'll we did this for Chelsea. Chelsea. And is it still sharing my screen? Did it stop sharing? It stopped sharing. Hold on a second. And again, I mean, I have kids, so it makes it easier for me to sing happy birthday, but so we sit there, we sing them happy birthday. I'll usually post it on their Facebook because I want other people to go, oh, wow, that person went above and beyond it. And then they might go, hey, let me see who this Cory Boldroff is. And now all of a sudden it says I'm a realtor, I'm with here, I do this. And you just never know. I mean, I posted it on one person's thing of saying, hey, sing them happy birthday because they're part of my core. And I had 3 different people going, hey, where was my birthday song? And I'm like, oh, okay. So I added them to the birthday songs. But again, it's just showing that I care and doing going a little above and beyond. You can send it to instant message. Sometimes if I go on their Facebook and I'm like, this person doesn't really go on Facebook, I'll send them an instant message and then I'll also send them a text message. One of the reasons I like Facebook is because it's going to share that memory with them. So it's going to be forever lasting. Two, it lasts there. Again, if they go on instant message, they haven't been on that Facebook for a while and they go on there like, oh, yeah, hey, that was really nice of you. And there's some people that go, hey, I thought that was a generic message. I finally listened to it. I didn't realize that you actually like saying it personalized to us. So again, I think it's just doing things that are personal. But again, going into what we do on a daily basis, I think we really define them out. And one of my coaches says that best is like, my goal is to do 3 to 5 conversations a day. No matter what, I at least got to make sure I get one conversation in the day. That's my minimum. Now, for the most part, I hit my 3 to 5 conversations almost every single day. But I know hell or high water, I'm going to at least do that minimum because I need to make sure that my body and my mind goes, okay, hey, I got to keep this going. And I think that's the hard part is the shiny object syndrome is a lot of it comes down to like, I mean, my goals are very, very elaborate. I know my whole plan of action of what I'm going to do. So, I mean, I'll kind of show this as well. Let me look up career goal 2026. So now I get really in depth with my goal planning because I want my full blueprint on my goal. So I put on here, what are my goals? I enjoy being a top real estate planner, focus on building relationship, making partnerships, and I enjoy personally helping 60 plus families a year. And then I will come into here and say, okay, well, what is my plan of action? Well, I know with my core, which is one of my pillars, my top 300 cheerleaders, I'm trying to get it down to 250, but this is what I need to do. So, I need to have my list. I need to call them. I need to really define them. I ask them, I'm going to start a loyalty program. and really going through here. And then what do I need to do? I need to make monthly value calls. That's 10 conversations a day. If I'm going to hit up all 300, my minimum is 3 to 5. Like it goes through. And then what I need to do, I need to email them. So I need to send out email blasts, everything. I need to sing them happy birthday and holidays, send them out mailers 4 times a year, do a small gift to send out to the core each quarter, get into the digital world and actually interact with them. So I know exactly what I need to do. So when I get shiny object syndrome of going, hey, you know what? Someone just told me I should start farming 65 plus years and older and really start downsizing them. Or I woke up today, someone saying, oh, she got another listing from door knocking. I'm like, shit, am I dropping the ball by not door knocking? And I just go back to my goals. I'm like, no, this is me. This is what I'm doing. So I think it's really by having your pillars set and really knowing what you need to do, um, is the way you'll keep away from shiny object syndrome. And again, I don't think it doesn't take a lot to be successful in this industry. I think a lot of it is that we were just taught most big teams want you to call their lead generation. Why? Because that's how, they make money, and they know that they will turn and burn callers and, prospectors. Farming takes 18 to 24 months. It can be great if you have the consistency to do it. Most people don't. And most brokerages make money by desk fees. They make money by, and this isn't a dig against KW, but like Bold's $700 to $900. Well, if they got enough of their agents to take Bold, they can make a couple $1 million just on people taking Bold. And it doesn't really matter if they're successful or not. Ignite, or whatever brokerage you have, I guarantee they have something like that where they're trying to get you to trainings, they're trying to get you to this. And even if it's an outside third-party person, I believe they make a deal with them that says, hey, if I get a certain amount of agents to take your course, you're going to give us X amount back. So I think it's really just staying focused on where the business really comes from. And your business really comes from the people in your phone. And the business, in the senior market, senior communities are great because someone needs to go tour, they want to be a resident. More than likely, they have to sell their house first. There's a percentage chance that they don't have an agent. And, the board of directors, they have your ecosystem. They have the same clients and that's why I like senior networking groups. They're going after the same clients you're going after. Well, what if you guys can collaborate and say, okay, how do we build our ecosystem bigger? How do I tell my ecosystem about you? You tell your ecosystem about me. And then how do we prospect together? Because prospecting together is easy. I would say accountability partners is another one. Like Rochelle, you talked about, is like, I get distracted and I'm having a hard time being consistent. One person that you can do is, if you're married, tell your husband, say, hey, this is what I'm committing to. I need you to make sure that you help me do this. So when I wake up and when we're getting ready, I want you to say, hey, honey, don't forget you have to make your 3 to 5 phone calls today. Hey, honey, don't forget you have to make your 3 to 5 instant messages today. And at the end of the day, hey, honey, while you brush your teeth, did you do those things? Oh, you didn't? Well, tomorrow you got to double up then because you committed to me for doing this. So those could be great. Someone in your office could be great. Most brokerages, you have your team leader, you have your, account, you have ACL, ALC, something like that, agent leadership committee, yeah, council. But most brokerages have something. That's, hey broker, I want to be successful. Who in my office or who in your office can you help be my accountability partner? Are you going to be it? Is someone else going to be it? I need someone to keep me saying, hey, send me a daily text message saying, hey, you need to do this, and did you do it? Once it becomes habit, then it's really easy. I'm a person of habit that once I really get into the habit, I can do it, nonstop. But I'll also admit, if something throws me off my game, it's hard for me to get back onto doing it consistently again, unless someone says, okay, hey, I'm going to commit to this. Some of my kids, I'll tell my kids, hey, my 13-year-old son's probably a good one. Hey, I want to do this. Okay, well, then I'm going to tell you. And he'll come up. Hey, Dad, did you do your ABC 1, 2, 3s? I did. Did you make your reel today? I did. Okay, then I guess you can play basketball with me. Like, whatever it may be. And so I think that would be another great thing to do. Any comments, questions, thoughts? helping, not helping.
I'll ask another question if nobody else
Yeah,
wants to
yeah,
go.
please
I'm
do.
just gonna
Please do.
Okay, so I need your advice then. So last year, I went to three different communities and I met with them. Actually, four. And again, it's hard. They don't know you from Adam, so little like so last year I sent like the Merry Christmas card and I would try to reach out throughout the year. I wasn't really able to bring any of them any business or anything, but um I guess so now I want to just, you inspire me to still try to keep in touch with them. I'm going to send them all a Happy New Year card. Do you think it's best to put my card in there or just to leave it with my name? And then they're probably like, who's that? Like, I don't even know if they're going to remember who I am. You know what I mean? They probably get so many. I mean, the thing is, I wanted to do the Happy New Year as opposed to the Merry Christmas because I feel like a lot of people flood, Merry Christmas. Whereas now, um, what are your thoughts? Like, do you include the card or do you like your business card? Or just send it through as, hope, I don't know, not just Happy New Year. I have to say something in there, but obviously, um, I'm not sure.
Personally, I would never send anything. I
Really?
would, I would go and hand deliver. If I'm going to go give them something like that, I'm going to hand deliver it.
Just a card or should I drop something off? Maybe like candy?
Even if it's just a card, whatever it is, I am handle like I am like think of it this way. When you think about your mail and your junk mail, how many professionals, when you go through there, how many professionals are you getting junk mail from? True professionals.
None.
None, right? How many times have you been door knocked by an estate planner?
Never.
How many times have you been cold called by a CPA?
Never. Yeah.
You're a professional. I would say treat yourself and act like one.
Okay.
So I would go in and say all that other that just makes you just like everybody else, and it also downgrades you to be like all the people that are not true professionals. And I'm not saying a solar guy is not professional. I don't want to downgrade anybody, but like I hold myself of like I say there's the power team of five. Everybody needs an estate planner. Everybody needs a financial planner. Everybody needs an insurance planner. Everybody needs a tax planner, and everybody needs a real estate planner. I believe that wholeheartedly. I am the same as them. I teach them and educate them. So if I have that mentality, yeah, I'll go in because I believe I built a relationship or I'm trying to build a relationship, but I will go in and go in and say, hey, just wanted to say Happy New Year's. I got you guys a little card. How was your holidays? Was it good? Did you guys do something with family? And I will get super personal. Did you guys go for somewhere for New Year's? This is what I did. And I will take that time to make sure that I'm there to build a relationship with them. I might say, did you guys have a lot of move-ins? Have the move-ins started happening yet? Because generally speaking, our families, you get together for the families, outings and holidays, and that's when you realize how bad mama's off. Or psychologically for the actual senior themselves, a lot of times they hold on for hope and they hold on for because they were having something to look forward to. Now that they had all the grandkids over, now is the time where their body starts going, okay, I'm ready to give up. I'm ready to give out. And that's why typically speaking, January and February, there's a lot more deaths in this country than before in the elderly population because they lived their purpose of I just needed to make sure I made it to one more Christmas or one more Thanksgiving or one more time with the grandkids coming over. So I would say is like, if you have four communities, I would make it a point that again, I would not let a month go by without and go and visiting those communities.
Should I set
Because
up
I
the
look at
appointment or just go, show up?
in the if you haven't been in a while, I would call them and say, hey, I haven't been in a while. I want to come and tour your community, and I would start the whole process over again. And honestly, to be if it's been a while, the same marketing director is not there anymore. I mean, I will say very of those four, maybe one marketing director is still there. If it's been 3, 6, 9 months since you've been last, that marketing director is no longer there. So
Well,
the new
I've been
director,
in touch, so that there's there at least two that are there at their own
okay.
things. I don't know about the other, from what I'm
So I would
hearing.
just, I mean, the two that you've at least stayed in touch with, I would just stop by, say, hey, how's it going?
Okay.
They don't, they have tours, but it's not like real estate agents and everybody's nonstop coming in there. It's just, they're just not.
Right.
And so I would just make myself different. I would go in there and just say, hey, how's it going? Hey, you know what? I know I toured this community before, but over the holidays, I've been talking a lot with my clients. And there's a lot of them that are like their moms and dads are getting older and they're asking me these questions. Can we just do another tour? I'm going to take better notes this time, and ask better questions. And then just go tour because again, a tour takes a half an hour and you're really using that half an hour to build rapport with them, to talk
Right.
about what there is and where they've been, like, and get to know them more. And then just say, hey, would it offend you if I just stop by every once in a while? And then I'd follow up the next week and just be like, hey, you know what? Here's a small little gift. Ice cream, cookie crumble, popcorn, whatever you want to give as a small gift. You can just go spend hundreds of dollars. Go spend $10, $20. Starbucks. Hey, I'm on my way. I'm stopping by Starbucks. Can I grab you something? Show up and just like, hey, just really wanted to thank you for taking the time to give me a tour. Oh, wow. Hey, by the way, can I talk to your activity director? This year, I'm really dedicating. I want to start giving back more. Can I come and volunteer? They're not going to tell you no. And you're going to activity director and say, hey, what can I volunteer for? I can do bingo night. And all you're doing is just helping them. I mean, they need help sometimes of the person just paying attention enough to put what numbers on there. Or, hey, you have bingo. If you want to give a small little gift, I mean, literally, we sponsor prizes. They're $1 to $3 prizes, and they do 5 games. We're talking about $5 to $15. But they want to win so bad. And it gives them something to, like, they were playing for free before. Sometimes they play for $1 or whatever, but now they're getting something. And guess what? Hey, I just want to let you know this was sponsored by, and I usually say my real estate company. This is sponsored by here just because we want to be able to give back. Just a branding awareness. Because 33%, again, I'm a statistic person, 33% of people who are in assisted living still own real estate. Guess what they're not doing? No one's prospecting them anymore. And if they had an agent, that agent's not calling them anymore. Well, you're in there doing bingo nights.
That's a pretty
And I
good
would say,
statistic.
huh?
I'm a stats person too. That's a pretty good
Yeah.
statistic because you wouldn't even think that, right? You would think that they sold their place already in order to get in there. Or
And so they might have sold their primary, but they might have a piece of land. They might have an investment property. They might have, a home that they bought for, but they still might have their home because there are people that move in that go, you know what, I'm not 100%. I'm going to stay here. So they're afraid to sell their home. There's other times where we've had it where a person, like, their house was like basically pretty aggressively collected, but they needed, because of care, they needed to get into care right away. So they moved in there and like, yeah, well, I'll just go back every once in a while to go clean it out. 2 years later, they're not there, and they don't realize as much because the house has been paid off all cash, or they've done really well in life. Um, so that would be, a thing. But I would just, I mean, again, communities I think are gold mines. And now I'm not saying that you're going to go into a community and you're going to sit there for 6 months to go and visit them and they're going to give you 20 referrals. But again, I look at it like the law of probability. They have, let's say, at least 2 to 4 move-ins every single month. So in a year, they're going to have 24 to 40 opportunities of people moving in. A third of them, aren't going to sell. So let's say you have 16 to, what's that, 30 something, 36 that are still opportunities. You just need one to go your way that year. If you could, get another 3 to 5 to 7 transactions a year, why not? So, that would be, again, I divide it up into pillars. So I know my daily activity is done by pillars. Now, my senior stuff, now it's gotten to, I have my assisted living communities, and I shrunk down. We had 18 when I had my big team. I got rid of a lot of people. Some people left. Um, but I have my 3 to 5 communities that every single month, those are the communities I'm going to go to. Me and my kids do Mexican train. One, because we love to play Mexican train. But two, we got to be a little competitive. Seniors love to be competitive. I try to go to at least one senior networking group. I try to do at least one expo, and I try to do one talking event. Now, again, I like to stay busy. I like my days to be filled up. That's what I like. But you don't need to do all that stuff to be successful. If one expo, even if you're going to do one expo every like 6 months, one expo, you can meet 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, depending on how big your expo is, seniors that are looking to say, okay, what's the next phase of life look like? Now, I wouldn't go in heavy with, I do real estate. I'm here to sell your home because they don't want to sell their home. You can help them. I'm just here as a resource. I'm here to help people plan. So if someone wants to age in place, I would go and help them assess their home, and I would point them with a certified agent in place specialist, a retrofit company, a maintenance person. What can I do to help them age in place? Because even if they hold on it till they pass away, generally speaking, when people pass away, their home gets sold. I think it's less than like 20% of people actually, or 17% of people actually live in their home forever. They usually need some type of level of care before they pass away, unless they pass away, just unexpectedly. So, yeah, so that was my thing. On the last Thursday this month, I'm going to be breaking down all the different pillars within inside the senior space, and then try to give some actionable items that it's so that everyone can do, and then try to also break up the statistics of what I've seen, what I know in statistics in the in the outer world, and what it's actually turned into to me for it, um, and go from there. And how often do you suggest keeping in touch with the marketing directors of senior communities? So, me personally, I believe that everybody should have, let's say there's 15 communities, okay? And I consider like an independent living community could be one community. Assisted living community, you should probably have about 3 to 5 of those. A CCRC should at least have one of those. In-home health or in home care companies, you should have 3 of those. Residential assisted living homes, most places across the country have them. I would try to get those. So I would have a conglomerate of 15. My assisted living communities, I visit once a week. I want to make sure that they don't forget me. Now, one week might be dropping off a small little gift. One week might be doing a lunch and learn. One week might be volunteering for an event. One week might be just sharing a success story, an item of value, something that's going on in the senior space or in the real estate world. And I'm just there to do that. So, but again, when you're starting off, even if it's just once a month, like they don't remember you until you give them a reason to say, okay, that person really cares about seniors. That person has something really unique about them, or that person just keeps showing up. Because most realtors, they might show up once, they might show up twice, they might just show up for the professional events, but they're not just showing up. And that's what you got to do. And I think that's in most in real estate. You just got to show up a lot of times. Again, I always say people do business with people they know, like, and trust. But the most important one is the one that everyone forgets. They have to remember you. So you have to find a way to get in the flow, be remembered, stay top of mind, because that is the way that your business will start just compounding and domino affecting. And yeah, and I do. I believe anybody that comes to my ecosystem, I try to Facebook friend. I don't care if it's a potential buyer, seller, investor, open house guest, BOD, community director, executive director. I try to find them on Facebook and Facebook friend them or Instagram them, whichever you're part of. I like Facebook better just because it actually says who the person is rather than Grip to the Stars. I don't know who Grip to the Stars is without really focusing on it. Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully today was, helpful. And I just do want to give one little shout out. I am doing my core boot camp. It starts February 6th. It's basically an 8-week program to teach you exactly how to build your core, how to engage with them, how to bring them value, and how to train them to give you one referral every 5 years. And as well as board of directors of how to build up your board of directors, your partnerships, and get them to introduce you to people. So if you're interested, let me know. And then other than that, we'll keep going, and I will see you guys every Friday. And I will be on the last Thursday of this month is my mastermind class. But let us know. Please give feedback on the Facebook group if you guys find these calls valuable. Please go on the Facebook group on the public one and just say, "Hey, we were at the LFG call. It was, we got something out of it." Maybe even say what you got out of it. Because I think a lot of it, we're really trying to grow this. We want to grow an army of agents across the country that really can help seniors and their families. And I just think there's a lot of unknown, as well as a lot of skepticism because of there's other programs that haven't worked out for people. So we want them to separate it. All right. I thank you guys very much. I'm always here to help, and we'll go from there.
Thank you. Bye.